Yeah. It's more or less like instant messenger group based.
Okay, we're live.
Are you there, David?
Nope, he hasn't joined yet. Hold on a sec.
Are you going to participate?
Hackathon?
You join?
Is that you? This?
Negative. I don't know who that is. Wait,
Let me try one more time. I was in a different port, so maybe I...
connected. Hold on a sec.
You know, people wanted our meetings to be open, right? So having strangers popping in.
But we can control that now.
Open, as long as they're not.
The last time I had a guy came in, he had no shirt on. Oh,
Scared.
Well, we definitely can control that now because I can kick people out.
Yay!
Video service that randomly match you up with people.
no, right?
It wasn't roulette. Chat roulette.
Chat roulette.
It was not chat roulette.
That just sounds
That'd be
really awful. You never know who's going to show up. But I guess you never know if you're chatting to strangers anyway.
All right, so we are definitely live. Everyone, start tweeting it. If you have Twitter, pass out the. I've tweeted it. So everyone retweet the URL, and then we'll start. I'll be getting people in it. Send out to the Twitters. Go.
So
You might also want to just put it on the Slack channel, the URL for it.
Yeah, Relapse TV. So,
Yeah, hold on one sec. I think it's about to connect. Connecting.
Are we using the hashtag Fishackathon or fish hack? Fish hack, pound fish hack? Well, it's shorter.
I think I'm on.
Although it kind of depends, like if you're doing
Hang on a
group stuff, you
sec,
gotta
sweet.
sort of have people
Oh,
looking for those various
righty
codes.
then.
But if you're doing like a general thing, yeah, I wouldn't OD on them. But the tech ones, if you're talking different
People find
through the
relate
hashtag,
in different
Yeah.
ways. Like fish hackathon.
Where's he at?
So what hashtag are we using?
Wait for it.
I did fish hackathon and a code for fish.
We should probably, if you guys want to have multiple ones, you probably just get a list of hashtags to use.
Well, tomorrow we'll be talking with the marketing team to see what
Yeah.
they like to have to put actually one sheet together. So we all
Option. I think it's working.
I
Maybe.
think our marketing team will want to keep it. They'll keep it.
There we go.
Fish and maybe something with a brand with Civic.
Lincoln.
I don't
Oh,
know that they'll
okay, so how do I
go
get rid of
beyond
Yeah, well that's
Oh,
why
okay.
we just want to know which ones you want.
I'll take
to
It's not
use.
zoomed in. That's just how blind I am. I don't know how to work it though. No, this does really.
I'm just going to use generic hackathon for right now.
Yeah, I do
Yeah, you lost
hackathon
it.
because a lot of people pick up on that.
We're not gonna fiddle with this anymore.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah, it started a while ago.
All right, let's do it. So, welcome everybody. I'm Zaire.
Go around.
Project captain, brigade, co-captain for Code for Long Beach, and our meeting is officially beginning. So, going over the agenda, it looks like the first item is going to be merger with Aquarium Fishackathon. So there are a few items to clarify regarding the merger. Sign up still
Did you see what I did to the registration form, Kim?
I did. Thank you.
Okay.
It was lovely.
So then, yes, basically that's it. I mean, if everyone wants to go, and if you have feedback, go to the Fish Hack splash that and look at it. But basically, we're collecting now. Well, we talked about basically making people basically apply, and making them think about teams prior to, so that we can kind of hopefully guarantee some participation rather than just like who's going to show up, rolling the dice thing. Because basically we need to get 30 for the department and state, but we also need to stick around 30 for budget purposes. we make sure 30 people show up, basically. So we've got that up there. I think it's fine. Some folks have already gone through and submitted the new one after Z announced that it was available.
Yeah. Do you guys want me to forward those RSVPs?
Yes, please.
So there were 3 of them on there before you did the application process.
We know all of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I checked. I went and looked.
How many
So they're
more?
all. I know all those. I actually looked, and there were 8 last time I looked, and I know all of them except for whoever Christina is. Christina Gomez, if
So
anybody
it's a
knows.
total of 8 that has RSVP through the fish hack.
Yeah, and that was just right after you sent out the message, so it might be more now too. I mean, I can go in and look. But and so the idea is people can indicate on there whether or not they have a team, and whether or not basically they don't have a team, or if they have a team and they're looking for other members. And so then that will give us the ability, as Kim forwards those results to us, to pair people up. And you can forward them to me and then whoever else can, but I will gladly participate in helping connect people and making sure anybody who's on there isn't on our Slack gets invited to our Slack, basically. Because there's a whole separate group of matchmaking sort of place on the Slack as well, where hopefully that conversation can happen. That's about it. And then there's that's kind of the skill levels, if you will. And my suggestion is that we make basically what we do is we know all of our teams. Sorry, go ahead.
I have one issue with the sign up form.
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
resume part. Instead of resume, we have like GitHub up there.
Yeah, I mean, I can switch that out right now. Can we say resume and then another one just say,
I
or your
I
GitHub?
honestly feel a little bit weird about uploading a resume there.
Okay.
I would rather have people upload it or show the GitHub or the Stack Overflow account, whatever it is.
But
You're
what if
gunning
they
for good
work-
team members.
No, it's just-
I'm teasing.
It kind of just shows me, okay, is this dude interested in open source? Is he interested in all of this?
Right.
Or
But maybe they're working for companies that are behind the wall and it's not a GitHub thing, so their work might be there.
but
So-
maybe just instead of resume have like a small feed or like text area. I can say, hey, what is your background? What do
An
you do?
option.
Because resume is just like so freaking formal.
So let's keep the resume just in case, and we'll add. Do you have a GitHub?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's your username?
Yeah.
Because they're
Basically.
probably gonna be some designers, right? So
Yeah.
they're always talking about this.
So I'm going to do that right now.
Like in Dribble, you can try it. But external, just don't call GitHub, just like call external sites, and then in parentheses GitHub Dribble.
Okay.
Because yeah,
What's that? Trouble?
Dribble, DRIBBBLE.
Okay.
It's like one of the most famous designs.
Yeah.
Stack Overflow. What else is there? Oh, shut this one.
Everybody tweeted, right?
I'm trying to find the Twitter for the Long Beach Aquarium. But it
It's
doesn't-
Aquarium Pacific.
Yeah, Aquarium Pacific.
Oh.
Okay. So are we finished with the merger? Any other questions or concerns?
Does anybody know how we planned the merge and how it happened?
Well, yeah, that was the first thing is, because not, on Saturday, there were just a few people, so not everybody really knows what happened and how we merged
Yeah, I
together.
apologize. I tried to get in and I
So-
couldn't.
Okay, in regards to,
In
Wow.
regards to how we ended up going from June 6th to now we're 5th through 7th and all that stuff.
so I sent an email to Code for America to see if the actual fish hack would be considered a civic hack, and indeed, it is still a civic hack. So we made a decision to, pretty much just merge instead of do 2 separate hackathons. It just made sense just to do.
Does that mean we have that budget for this?
As far as Code for America is concerned,
Well, we're getting money from Code for America still then?
no, how Code
Or
for
are we going to
America
spend that on
works-
an actual civic
Yeah,
hack?
if there's something that our brigade, how it works, if there's something that our brigade has expenses, we keep a record or keep track of receipt of our expenses. and Code for America will reimburse up to $500
Okay.
for brigade expenses.
So could that then be applied to anything we might need to get for the fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Did we update the meetup page?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Meetup is updated. Eventbrite.
So thinking about the sign up process, I'm not concerned with the specific fields and stuff like that, but when I look at the Fishackathon, there's these couple dozen problem statements, right, which really can outline what we're meant to tackle. These are sort of challenges, right? And so we have people, either teams signing up or individuals signing up. Not everybody who's probably seen a lot of those, a lot of the information. I know it's actually finally linked on the Fishackathon site, but I think when I first saw the Fishackathon page, I had to actually search for the problem
It was
statements.
just
And
for that. Yeah. a few
maybe
weeks
just-
ago, yeah.
so I think a lot of people aren't going to understand this format, that there's actually these existing challenges right there right now, especially because a lot of people signed up before when it was still a Civic Hackathon, and it was sort of like we're still figuring out ideas. Now it's actually, no, there's this bucket of 20, 25 specific challenges that you're meant to work on, especially if you're a team. You could be preparing for these now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not
I mean,
code,
as far as we know,
um,
they've
Yeah,
released the
I
problem
think
statement,
that's
so you
a-
must be able
I
to
think
prep.
That's the best idea, because if we knew ahead of time what problem statements they were working on, we could get experts for a good chunk of them.
Right.
Marine mammals and feed I do have, but I don't know if people will pick this.
Right. So I'm thinking about sort of an onboarding process, right? We've got people who are coming into this project, and we need to hand off a set of expectations to them to say, look, here's what you're meant to be working on. We also want to get feedback from you. Do you need teammates? What kind of teammates do you need? What problems do you think you're going to work on? Right? To your point, because if we're targeting a specific problem area, not only do I want to research on my own and say, hey, what kind of data, what kind of resources can I gather ahead of time, but also, is there an expert at the aquarium I can talk to about this problem? I don't know anything about, salmon hatcheries, or whatever the challenge I'm talking about.
So I think in the same communication that we use, so Kim's going to forward all of the RSVPs as they come in the same follow-up communication about teams, we include all that and say like, hey, here are the problem statements. Here's a deadline for letting us know like your general area of interest so that we can get experts on board for you. Here's a deadline for letting us know that you have a team or you still need team members, like all those things in there.
And in addition, maybe what we can do, since Martin is kind of compressing the problem statements into like a summary, we can either do put that information on a page, whether it be
Oh yeah,
the LB page and then point it,
we would put them on both.
Just put
Yeah.
them on both, yeah.
And into the meetup as well, just so people, I mean,
I can
cut and
wouldn't it be
paste,
better
right?
to send meetup and just all of them being sent for.
I mean, honestly, they're all fairly short. I mean, I read all of them in an hour,
Right.
Yes.
And summarizing them would be actually a bigger challenge because I'm not a subject matter expert.
No, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm condensing down all to 2 to 3 sentences.
Right.
It's like really, this is a general idea. If one more information, here's the PDF.
So what I'm thinking, though, I mean, I think you're exactly right, which is we need that sort of new hire handoff packet, right? It's like, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's all the information you need to get started, and here's the information we need from you. It's like we need your W-2, right?
Right.
We need you to tell, do you have a team? Who's your team? But question for, I guess, everybody, but particularly for the aquarium and for anybody organizing this is do we want to actually pre-select? I know we're targeting like 30-ish people total, right? Because we have a limit on space, everything else. So if we just do some quick math, we know how many teams we can support, right? If they're 4-person teams, then we're looking at 6 to 8 teams, right? And so do we just say, look, we're going to pre-select, maybe because the aquarium has certain interests that are specific. We want to work on these 6 problems or these 10 problems.
So on that note, and
I don't know if that's realistic. Yeah.
So there's 11 problems on the top that were pre-vetted for, I forget the term they use exactly, but basically those have a higher chance through the State Department or assistance from the State Department of getting funding to actually get the apps into place.
Right.
So I would like to find a way to focus on those 11. There were concerns raised last time that we shouldn't do that, but the problem with last year's event that I heard from the other institutions that did it was that there was no follow through. The teams created this product and it just went into the void.
So I was thinking about that because either there's that, I think it's 11, and they're kind of pre-qualifying.
Yeah.
So it's like, look, we can probably have a follow-up and maybe even a funding if somebody actually delivers something like this. Right? And then I thought the other aspect is, especially if we're leaning on experts, especially if, that the chances of you having expertise on hand in every possible problem area is limited. But if you were focused and you said, look, we're interested in specific, issues, or we're interested in these 6 of the 11, that might help us.
But the aquarium itself has one.
We have the feed statement on aquaculture, and I have a scientist on standby who's willing to do a Google Hangout if somebody chooses that problem statement. We have marine mammal experts from NOAA who actually are part of the actual regulations that they're really addressing with that problem statement. They will actually be at the Saturday dinner as well. For the sustainable seafood one, that is my realm and that is what I do. So we have those covered. I think there's actually 2 marine mammal ones, or even 3.
So that's the question: is do we push these and say, look,
Yeah,
sure.
We've got 10 days.
Right.
So
I think if we express
as
that,
good as possible.
yeah,
Right.
if we express
This
that,
has not been actually resolved until right now.
Yeah,
We haven't said it's just been, hey, there's a bunch of ideas out there.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think
why
we should definitely call in and just.
Question.
And find the
Maybe it's a
people
seat.
that we know
Do we
of.
allow only one team to work on one problem, or can multiple teams work on the same problem, just independently? Or is first come, first served basis?
Different solutions. Like if in your case.
yeah, I don't think we can limit. I think if we get 3 apps all in one problem, they're all going to be different apps in the end.
I fully agree, but I'm just wondering.
Plus,
Yeah.
it'd be difficult if they're forming teams ahead of time and just trying to familiarize themselves with the
Okay, yeah,
content.
yeah.
Like, oh, now we can't work on that.
Okay,
It just
yeah.
would be very difficult.
So what I can do, if this is helpful, I can create profiles of the experts that we already have.
That'd be awesome.
And then if you have a deadline for the problem statements that people can submit, if we kind of push those top 11, if people submit by, let's say it's what's next Wednesday?
Tuesday, next
It's
Wednesday.
Tuesday,
yeah.
Wednesday. I may be able to round up a few more depending on what those topics are. It's
Gotcha.
kind of last minute, but because they could do it via Skype or Google Hangout, I may be able to get them for 15, 20 minutes
Okay.
to talk to the group.
Yeah.
We have a lot of scientists who are really passionate about reaching out to the general public. And so they really rely on the aquarium to do that. And so a lot of them actually would be willing to do that.
So that's awesome, and those biographies would be really helpful for our marketing communication too, particularly around the panel, because we'll, as we discussed last Friday, we'll do a little sub campaign on the panel. We'll actually do a release, and we'll try and get some media just about that particular aspect of the event as well. So the biographies would be super handy, and then an add-on question to that is, you mentioned earlier about, and this is a common problem with, I do know this, it's a common problem with Civic hacking products, is that oftentimes they do just sort of evaporate. Oh, thank you so much. They just sort of, that's it. It's out there and nothing is done with it afterward. Do you think that some of these I would totally be willing to take on that particular problem, as in, we're not done with this after this weekend's over with. We're going to take our winners and all of the people who've worked on them who are interested and move them forward regardless. I think that would be a powerful statement. And I guess I'm asking, do you think that the scientists can be asked to continue to participate as well? Because I know I can get hackers.
It depends on the scientist. I can tell you the ones I have right now, absolutely.
Okay.
The problem with dealing with NOAA, obviously they're a government agency, so it's whenever they're available. But
Right.
the particular scientists I picked out are very passionate about what they do, and if they can find the time, they will do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The scientist on the aquaculture feed is amazing, and there's not much that he wouldn't do if he cannot do it. The problem is the funding. So I don't know what the plan is for that.
Well, I mean, that part of it is making an actual plan. So oftentimes these things all fail because they don't have a plan. So it's we made this, it's done. And so, I mean, my company, for instance, we facilitate similar things. We're doing one right now that is this corridor over here with the East Village business owners, cities involved, et cetera, the Arts Council. And basically, we're facilitating hey, here's the solution for it, but here's also the plan and the process to make that happen. And we're talking to potential funders at the same time. What potential funders, and you probably know this working in a nonprofit, is they want a plan. So if you can go to a funder with a plan to make something happen, funding is a lot easier. And so I would totally be willing to make that happen if we can get some like commitments from the scientists, and then I feel pretty comfortable with getting commitments from the actual hackers to help continue to improve their products.
I actually encountered a lot when I was speaking up in LA for LAJS. A lot of people actually would love to volunteer their time for something that's worth it and just like to work on stuff that's non-profit work, but also kind of helps out. So I don't think it should be a big issue getting people.
Yeah.
Well, if there's an exciting project that's created, people will jump
Well,
up to it.
And that's one of the things that Code for LB is. That's one of the things we do. Facilitate.
I also think that if we had that to attach to any of our winners that we send to the national competition, I think that it would be beneficial, I'd say, if we said, well, here, we've got a plan to make this happen regardless. I think that would be a handy addition.
Yeah, I think that would be a key addition.
Yeah.
Do we already know how follow-up looks like? Or is that in competition details?
Excuse me.
The follow-up after the first round.
The follow-up after.
So
I don't know, like what
So I have another call with them on Thursday, which will be on the road, so it's really interesting, but hopefully they will address that.
because if this project is being picked and then somebody else charges it on a national level, or all those people who win here moving on to another hackathon on a national level?
Yeah, that's
It's not another hackathon. So they basically will pitch. So basically what will happen is they will be chosen by their respective institutions, and then they'll go into a pool, and then they do a Google Hangout session. That's what it was last year. That's what it'll be this year with the State Department, and they pitch their apps.
Okay.
And then the
So they did
judges.
an additional pitch session with them.
Right.
And
So they're
then
not
they would-
creating another new app.
Got
Okay,
it.
cool.
Are they allowed to work on their projects in between?
That is a very good question. I will ask.
Oh, yeah, that is one of the questions.
Yeah. Can we move on to event flow so we can get to the details later?
One of the things, for the event, we actually need, like, who's the coordinator for making sure that we know how to reach
Well, Kim is our point of contact person.
for the
we'll have-
event?
Yeah, for
Okay.
the event.
So you'll be there?
For the aquarium, and then we'll have our team facilitators that will take shifts for the weekend. So and we'll have.
I guess
we'll
it's
have,
time to
like,
start
shifts.
discussing that then. It's time to start discussing that then.
We kind of.
Or do we come up with teams already?
That's the next point, actually.
Yeah, that's the next point. So with the with that, so is there anything else on that point before we move on to?
Well, I think that we should just, if in case, it's a long weekend, if you're not there, like, what are the procedures, and like have that
Yeah, and
identified.
I'll have a contact list, a master contact list with so you guys will need the security info. You'll need the AV info in case you need something in there. And I'll probably connect you with guest services. And I will be available throughout the weekend. I will be
Right,
there
yeah.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
So what about the idea of having an event app? I actually started playing around with one today. Having an event app that everybody that's participated in and facilitated, we can all be on one event app that will have the contact, emergency info.
Well, I think that's a good idea, especially since we're going off site.
Yeah, the features I'll send you guys an email, but it has great features.
Yeah,
within
we've
the-
created those.
So that includes the contact info.
Exactly, yeah, and I'll email you the features at the event.
So who's gonna load that, and who's gonna take
I've
it?
already started working on it this morning. So
Okay.
like I
Which
said,
program are you using? I'm just curious. Who you
There
use.
was two. Hold on, let's see.
I think I want to borrow you guys for all of our events.
We are LB Tech.
How did you
Just-
feel
just
about
to-
being consultants for the aquarium?
Just to
I'm
play
happy,
devil's
I'm
advocate,
happy,
why
I'm
not-
happy to do
Why not
it.
just put it up on the website?
I love
For-
fish.
I wouldn't know.
for,
I actually would keep this
no,
private
I'm
in the organization team, because this is more. Than
I mean, all the all the information from participants, I'm saying. Which is
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
It's called guidebook. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't use
features-
that one.
Yeah, the features are like amazing. Real time, just from my phone.
Are they on both iOS and Android?
Yeah, it's cross-platform. So,
You're gonna put it on the Slack so we can just.
yeah.
So that's great.
So what's next?
Event.
Volunteers.
We need to.
So will there be volunteers on your site at all? Like, considering it was gonna be your event.
Scientists.
I think we are
Is
the
there
aquarium
anybody else
volunteers
on-
now.
Are you the only posse?
Kind of. So
Okay.
here's the deal. So again, we have another festival that weekend, and so our
Oh,
volunteers are going to be pretty much designated to that.
Gotcha.
This is something that, again, it's World Ocean Day, and so this was something that's thrown into the mix after everything else was already planned. And then the State Department was very slow in getting back to us. So
Well, out of this group, who's planning on actually participating and who's?
Yeah, we need to distinguish.
So
on
I'm
board
not
for
participating.
volunteering.
Who wants
Yeah,
to volunteer?
I will
Yeah, you
be there
have
to
me.
organize.
Raise your
and
hand
manage.
if you're considering participating.
Mostly because I have to be gone for a big chunk on Saturday, but I'll be there for all the other stuff. Otherwise, I would totally hack away.
If
You
So-
volunteer?
Yeah, me and a couple of the Wonder Woman tech folks are coming.
Right, and I can get more.
Plus
so
two?
Plus two. Two at the, yeah. Two at
can we
the
just go through the rows? And
Yeah.
Just them?
Are you participating?
No, I'm facilitating myself and DW. James, are you?
I'm not sure yet.
I'm not sure. You kind of,
I'm in between.
totally should go to Chile.
I'm not really interested in Chili.
What?
Go to
Spain.
Spain.
Spain's the other one.
Eh,
But you can
money
cash it out.
motivates me a lot
But you
more.
can cash it out.
You
When
can-
I
yeah,
know
you
I'm
can
going
cash
to
it out.
win.
Dude, you can bring a trip for Chile.
For
I'll pay them off the road.
1/20th of a cent on the dollar.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, that's what they use.
Oh, like coupons. Yeah.
I might. It depends on what roles need to be
Roger.
filled. I'm
You're
fine
gonna
not
put, right?
participating and volunteering
Yeah,
too.
So I think what we should do is just like, I mean, get what's happening here, but then put up on the Slack, like who out of
Right.
code LB.
Well, that's one of the questions on the form.
Yeah, definitely on the form as well too. So we can, and people have been answering that, so we can collect, organizers from there and shuffle everybody else out elsewhere. But like, I haven't filled it out yet.
Well, but
David-
doing that, yeah, I haven't
So-
filled it out.
David's on there. David, can you hear me?
He'd have to message. He can't. Yeah.
Oh.
It's not like the other one.
And then we also have to be
Oh.
cognizant about
Who's
not
on
going
the
over
line?
50.
I don't know. It doesn't tell me.
David Green.
They have to message inside the app if they want to communicate. Mike's not going to make it. Ask David to try and send a message on the left-hand side. There should be a little message bar.
Should be a
So-
subset of problems be selected right away and give people choice.
Let's just add
Volunteering.
if somebody want to add another little hashtag about who, like if you're an organizer, speak up here so that we can know, and then we'll just consider everyone else participants.
Couldn't we just make a spreadsheet in Google Docs and give everybody right access? And if they-
Good idea.
Yeah. We can.
Great.
It's probably much easier. It's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I will assist DW, and I know that the Wonder Women will probably as well.
Wonder
DW and Z are like putting together the schedules and making sure we've got everything covered. Because I'm
And that's
yeah,
the great thing about that event app too, is that's another feature.
Ah,
schedule.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and how it works, it basically people just download the app from the App Store, and then there's a code. The code is code for LB. So once they put that in the search, and then they get
Pulls it out.
the pulls, yeah.
Okay.
Very handy.
So
You guys
David
need
will
if you
be
need like an event
volunteering.
host, I might be down for
Regarding
that.
volunteers, can we do both?
Like an event host or an
Um,
MC.
I don't think you want to.
I mean, I don't really mind.
I might do
doing both.
that.
Like, if there's an emergency, I'm happy to help in somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't see that being a problem
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I might be able
I
to.
just want to go fucking Chile.
But we want you to win, so you gotta be
gotta
focused.
You gotta be stay
I
focused.
think that's good too for you to, as far as on the minerals, because of course you know all the technical jargon. Yeah. So.
No, it's what I'm saying. Like, I'm more than happy to help organize and to help facilitate today. I'm more than happy to give technical intro to the hackathon. But it's like I kind of want to participate, but I'm also more than willing to help out.
So I think it's gonna be more right? Like more pre-production.
Correct, yeah. And like if there's an emergency, like if there's any tech issues on the site, I'm more than happy to jump in.
Yeah.
I'd probably bring my own team there. Pretty sustainable.
Can I join your team?
So
Do you know design?
what about mentors? Like, will people?
Oh.
Well, we, because I think we got another section for the competition details. Maybe we could put that in there.
Okay.
Because I think that's a different,
Yeah.
okay. So on the event, the other people that are doing the fish hackathons, aside from us, do they have like paperwork, rules that they're following? I mean, are we supposed to follow
main
the
event,
same
right.
procedures and rules?
So Fish Hackathon, the site has a code of conduct.
But that's it. There's no guidelines.
That's about non-grass.
So how is the content, every contest has rules and it's really legislated.
So
I
how do
know.
they
What are
judge?
the
Are they just
rules?
willy-nilly like which one they like best when they get
Probably.
it? Like
It
we're gonna
doesn't
do?
make sense.
Like,
Because
Wait, what do you mean? What did
so
you say?
how do they judge? I guess what's the criteria
The
for
criteria is
How do I win?
judging the national competition?
That is a great question that I am going to. So judging is another question that's coming up on our next call because I need to talk to you about getting more judges
Okay.
as well.
Judge.
I'll judge.
Okay.
Architectural judge dibs.
oh god.
So are you guys serious here? Yes?
I will judge. Yeah, I'll judge because I've
Sure,
already decided I'm not going to participate. So I
won't be
will.
I wanna
participating
thrash
either.
people's
Whenever
code.
you
That
guys
sounds like
need, I'm
fun.
available.
Do we have any participation?
I want to be as critical as possible. Like
You
Gordon
need to
Ramsay.
build. You need to build. You're a dev. Get in there.
Okay.
I could,
This-
but I
this
kind of
is
want to be like, you're
not-
doing
This
it
is-
wrong. I want to be the no.
See, like, it seems strange that they wouldn't have defined rules because you
They
know how weird
I
they
think
are.
somewhere.
with
They're
prizes.
just. It's obviously they're only their. It's
Yeah,
obviously
it's
only
more
their
like
second
Like
grade.
if we were a different
They
one
have
and
any
we
of
had
that?
different rules than
But
they
this is like,
have.
okay, use the
and
code that
we
we
went
will be
Spain
judged
and
on.
they
It needs to be written
Right.
at the hackathon,
Yeah.
not being beforehand.
Right.
Hey,
How do we
listen,
protect
No, I
that?
completely agree.
And
How do we-
it was actually brought up on one of our calls.
How do we
but
enforce
I'm
that?
surprised We don't have that on the website.
Because
It's
this
not even
is-
on
What
the
is
main
missing?
website.
Dude, I got a great idea for how
I'm
to
trying to
enforce
record.
that. What
Okay,
if they have to
um,
commit every 15 minutes?
Hang on one
No.
second.
That'd be so awesome.
No,
Hang
no,
on
no.
one second.
Can you forward this to me and then I
Yes.
can forward it to
I,
them?
I'm
Will
trying
do.
to make
Forward it to me too.
I have to put it in Slack.
Okay.
What was your question?
If there is a general rule set, meaning it's only so-called fresh code, which is the code that you write on the day of the hackathon. Will there be an architectural code check and those kind of stuff?
So Martin and I have talked about some of these sort of open questions about rules. One of them is this: how much can be prepared ahead of time or not, right? Because there's a fine line. Like, what does it mean to I can't write code? Does it mean I can't bring libraries that I'm used to using? Like, I've got my standard libraries, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Does it mean I
Consider
can't
that.
bring assets
Yeah.
at a time because I'm not a great designer? So what if I, gather up graphical assets I need to, build my UI ahead of time? Is that
Well,
against? And I'm just putting these things out.
It's in
there.
license.
Because, and
Well, it's,
and there was even the question, which I think we've settled on, but there was a question, certainly about like, can I assemble my own team, or am I going to be assigned to a team when I arrive, right? And it sounds like we can assemble.
well,
a team.
it has to level set the playing field against, with all the teams participating across the country. If we have a different set of rules than they have, then it's.
Well, how about, are there any other outside sites from some of the other cities that they're using?
I looked at all of the other cities and none of them have.
None of them have their own page?
Sure.
Well, they all use they all have the Fishhacky stuff, and I looked for other links. Like I couldn't find anything.
So you think they
And-
come up
So
with?
basically, most of them are aquariums like us, and they're in the same boat. This is very new for all of us, and I think ours is actually gonna be the best one because we got you guys.
Yeah.
So I
Publicity.
Yeah, I mean,
Powered by LB Tech.
I will say though, the question about how we're going to be judged
Yeah.
is actually critical to me because
Yeah.
I'll give you one very specific example. I've noticed in the language, it's in the marketing language, I could be reading too much into this, but it specifically mentions apps and devices. And so does that mean if I build a mobile website that I'm going to be judged negatively versus
Right.
a native app, right? Because that's the way I read it.
Yeah.
And but on the other hand, unless I bring James onto my team, I'm not going to have a native app developer.
Correct.
And And so we need
And
to establish
native
these
app developer, but
rules
that's not
and the judging criteria.
Will I
Right,
get
like,
no
are we being-
points if I vet that animal?
Yeah.
Question
and,
to the
or,
group.
you know, if all I get done is a set of really slick wireframes, a process, etc., versus
I feel like-
get a functioning app that looks like garbage but actually works. What's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be the
yeah,
judging
where-
criteria?
Yeah.
Fine
right?
Will I
line
be
for
charged
that,
for my quality of code? Do you need
Right,
to
'cause
actually
I could
write
bring-
code
I
with
could just
code, or
bring
can I just, like,
two
So
UX
I
and
have,
two
I have
designers
a
with me.
response to this and kind of a question that, or so I guess it's like the final product. How do we deem it worthy, or like on a scale of 1 to 10, A, B, C, D? But this is the final project, and I was thinking, like, I don't remember. I have not been to many hackathons, but I know everybody demos, and then after the demo, there's like, you know, the judges do whatever. But is this like a food critique? We're like, is this like Iron Chef? You know, we like, oh, you did this technique wrong, or is it like,
Yeah,
Can I
well,
be
every
Gordon Ramsay
judge,
for you
every judge judges differently.
or should we? What?
can I be Gordon Ramsay? for
I'm
you?
Gordon Ramsay. That's why.
Oh,
I was,
no, no.
Actually, can I ask you a question about that then? So I've never seen one of these done before. This is like brand new to me. I was under the impression
actually,
that
Martin, you've been to
the
them. How
code
do they
was
do
turned
it?
in somewhere, and then the judges review it on the back end. But you just mentioned presenting it.
Well, they
You
demo.
pitch at the end.
You pitch
He's
it.
been to
Okay.
a bunch of these.
So
He's
that
won a
actually
ton.
changes the itinerary a little bit.
Huh?
Mine.
You've won some, right?
Yes.
Here's-
How does okay?
just
So,
to
so
specifically
how did
address your
how the
question,
criteria
Robert.
for what qualified you do?
But
I'm sorry.
So
it's different from hackathon to hackathon.
some
Yes, it is.
here's the thing: is that if your judges are, you know, half of them are subject matter experts, right? And I turn in code that's, you know, it's first of all, it's unlikely that they're going to actually be qualified to review my code, right? And I don't mean that as an insult. It's just, you know, I would be unqualified to review their
Or
papers.
in mammals.
Right? And so what we have to do is
That's
right.
technical.
It's you do a demo or a pitch,
Yeah.
and somebody on the team has to present. Here's our concept. Here's how it works.
Here's our
Answer questions from the panel, right? Because you're going to have some technical judges. You're going to have some,
Yeah.
you know, some
That's right.
scientists.
It's just like
You're
Shark
gonna
Tank in a
have- yeah.
sense.
Kim, I'm gonna send you. Lisa May posted her rules and regs from her
Tax for
ASU.
Humanity, and then Wonder Woman Tech too, except it's still off the. I just checked. The
Where did you
server's still
post
down.
them?
So I
So
posted
you
them on our
guys mind
Slack.
if I
So
forward these to
Yeah.
our contacts at the State Department and
Yeah.
say, can
we use
Do we
it?
have
use
some, like,
these?
The other one,
Do you
like we did.
well,
something
yeah. If
different
they
for
don't
Wonder
have them,
Woman
be
Tech.
like, hey, then we
I
should.
think they actually do. They're just not on the website
They're not
yet.
on
'Cause
Okay.
I know this conversation has been. It was one of our
Look.
first conversations.
Okay.
Actually.
Because
Well,
if we're the only one who limit fresh code, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm working this in 2 weeks. Like, oh, yeah.
Well,
There's
what
no
we
quick
did for
chance.
Wonder Woman hacks that just this past February is we did a 100-point system and we did 25 points per user for impact, for this, for that. I see that they have 3 markers on the fish hack, so maybe that has something to do with a point system or something like that, which would probably be the easiest. Innovation impact interface. That's all I see on their site
So,
for judging criteria.
so a question for you guys then. Let's forget about the State Department for a minute because I don't even know if I'm gonna get anything from them. Judging in an ideal world, when you guys do hackathons. So for this time, do we even need a scientist on board, or should we just have? Oh, we do. Okay.
Yeah, we should
We
have it.
definitely should.
Access.
There must be at
There
least
has
one
to-
subject matter expert.
Here's the challenge: is if we don't have a scientist on board, all we're going to be doing is we're doing code.
Correct.
We're not. Nobody's going to tell us that
Well, and
the-
functionality.
right. But I mean, we're not going to even, you know,
We won't even
since
know
I'm
if
not
it's
the audience
useful.
for these
That's true.
applications,
That's true.
I
You're
won't
right.
know if it.
The
even
end
is.
user
You're
is the
right.
only one who could really.
Also-
And so
Yeah.
the judges, the scientists, are our target audience, right?
So how many judges should we have total?
6. No, it's way too
No,
many.
that's-
No,
I would
Four.
say,
3 to 4 maximum.
right.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
look
say
at
for
look at
you,
how they
you know,
do Shark Tank. They've got 3 or 4 sharks.
So 2
Only
and 2.
because it's but then you end up with a problem if it's even number.
I've always had 4 judges, so
So
3 to
if
4
We
judges.
have you, Lincoln. We have a scientist. Or we have another scientist. Or should we?
You need a technical person too.
Yes, you do.
You need like a strong.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm confused.
Not
so,
that I'm
so
tech-
they're not technical. What are you guys?
No,
We're-
They're
we're
technical. They're technical.
Okay.
It's about
But we are
You
we
need,
are
like-
gonna
That was the wrong word. My bad.
facilitation to make sure it happens.
You need an experienced software engineer or
What are you?
tester.
What are you?
I'm technical function.
I am
Hackathon.
a senior developer.
Developer.
You can't be a judge.
I mean, we could like go through like skill sets. Like I have been a developer. Like I get the vast majority of it. If you want somebody who's doing it constantly right now, then somebody else. But my
don't-
opinion
I mean,
is
I
you
create
need to
hackathons
compete
and I
in the
judge
actual.
But it's also good to have someone that can have experience that can give back. I mean, yeah, I could compete, but
because did they think about the solution or did they just build it pretty for sake?
yeah, right. Because a lot of times it can be a front end app that just is shiny, but does it really compute stuff in the
Yeah.
back end? And who would be able to know that?
Cake, but it may be ugly.
Well, I mean, then
I know
we're
Roger,
talking
but I can
about-
also read code pretty well too.
We're gonna have to get a ringer though, like somebody who's gonna be able to. Because if we get somebody who's like, oh great, I can develop anything in JavaScript, doesn't mean they're not gonna have any clue about half of the other stuff.
So with our community being so large, we can probably table this for now and then just.
I feel like though, if it's a hackathon, you should have
Well,
probably
we probably need a judging meeting.
Yeah,
some sort of criteria for judge should be met.
Well, I think before we even go there, we should find out
What the
if
rules
they
are.
already have something.
Yeah, that
in
too.
place. Because they've already
Programming
done this, so
test.
we could be doing extra work that we just
Right.
don't really have time.
But
Yeah.
either way, we are still going to need a subject or discuss how we're going to do the judging or what is that process. So that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
So back to the agenda.
Yeah.
Where are we at now?
Facilities.
So we're at facility setup.
Facility setup. Okay.
We
So
need to tear
talked
down.
about the day before setting up the
That's
facilities.
Thursday.
So that'll be Thursday. So can we get a time that we want?
Yeah, so I'm gonna email tomorrow and figure out what time we can go. What time works best for you guys?
Nighttime.
Nighttime.
Well, I was questioning about that. Are we setting it up, or do you guys have a facility that's setting up a facilities team for us?
The facilities team they will bring in the surge protectors, the extension cords. They'll set up the tables however we want, and then we can play with them a little bit more.
So we'll go, exactly. Yeah, so we'll go in and actually configure the tables however we want the day of.
We should
Test
the
AV.
Is it a square, like
Yeah.
a square
And I
building?
will be bringing AV in too. So
I can diagram something
whatever
really
the equipment
fast.
is, the AV
Literally.
team will be there too.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they going to be there Friday morning, Friday evening, right?
So AV is there all the time. They are not there 24 hours though. So
Well, we won't need them. Well, if we can get with them on Thursday, we can test.
Yeah, we
something
test
that
out Thursday,
we can
then
test it,
we'll
set
But
up.
in case of some situation
Yeah,
on
that's the point
Friday,
of contact.
that's,
yeah.
We'll do
So
it.
but they won't be there all night on Friday.
no, not all night, but just like, because Friday we're going to be,
We might not even
So-
need the
So
AV
here's
stuff.
what we'll do. We'll have on our spreadsheet, our contacts, we'll have.
Like we have so much
AV, we'll have
technology,
other people
we could just use our
contact,
phones
like
for something. We don't even need AV.
itself.
Like there's an app.
I'm sorry,
There's an app.
everyone's talking and he's talking. So we've got one person talking, please, because.
So we'll create a spreadsheet, like a contact spreadsheet, and I probably will go in the Van app or on Google Doc, we'll decide where we're gonna place it, but we'll put the actual like AV and all the listed out by title and contact. But through the walkthrough, we'll hopefully, like I say, the AV people will be there, so Lincoln and I will kind of be in charge of working the AV for throughout the app.
I created a sign up sheet for that. That's already in the Google Doc.
Okay, what's the next,
Sign up sheet.
Okay.
Oh, that's a big one.
It's got some stuff. It doesn't have all of it though. I didn't know exactly what, but I created a start for it. So
We can revise it, that's cool.
So Zaire and Lincoln will be handling AV
We might do one.
and the setup the night before.
Correct.
When you,
but we also,
Second.
what time?
So what time we thinking? What's the, well, okay, let's give her a window. So I know you were here at 7, right?
No, I actually host AJS on Thursday.
Okay.
So,
So-
I'm back in Long Beach at 10 p.m.
Oh, wow, that's too late. Okay, so.
We'll only need like
we'll-
4 or
we'll
5
have-
for setup night anyway.
Yeah, it's very small.
It's
room.
not a huge
So
space.
we'll
So I'll do it.
Let's say
We
what?
say between 5 and 7.
Yeah, let's do 5 and 7.
It's great.
Okay, I have a question on the facility itself. Where do we go to park and where are those
So that's-
situations?
Interesting thing. So unfortunately, I am not able to get parking covered. I believe what we will be able to do is the validation, which is $8 a day.
at the
Okay.
parking.
So $24.
Yeah, if you leave, if you stay, yeah.
So so basically what we'll do then, we'll do the $8 validation and then we'll reimburse through Code for America. We'll probably do some of that, allocate some of the budget, reimbursement budget for parking.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very
Good idea.
because if there's only people to do this
So there are 240 in total. In the worst case, people will all be arriving in groups.
You could encourage locals to use Lyft too, or Uber or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what we're getting into. The next one.
The other part of that is, where are we supposed to park and where are we supposed to enter?
So that's actually gonna be interesting, and I have to put together a list for that. So first day, no problem. You come through the front entrance. There will be a check-in table by the members' entrance, most likely.
Friday?
And yes, and there will be wristbands given out to hackathon participants. However, Saturday night, everyone is going to have to leave the premises between 5:30 and 10 p.m. You don't have to go to Maid if you don't want to, but you can't stay at the aquarium. Unless you hide somewhere really well.
We have that in the notes
So-
somewhere too, I think.
So people will be responsible for their own rides to and from Maid, but when you come back, you cannot come in through the front entrance because there is a wedding there until 11 p.m. So we will have security out there, but you'll have to go in through Harbor Terrace. And I will likely be there, but we will all have to come back as one group.
I think
can't
we
have
should
people
just
So we should
staggered
just
going
call
super
it a-
minimalistic, and we should
Yeah.
hoof it up the hill to Maid. It's like what, 6 blocks?
Yeah.
You know, like we'll just do field trip. We don't need to worry about like moving cars or anything, and then we all come back as a group.
What I'm very
Can
jealous-
DW not get the trolley? Doesn't he have access to a
I
trolley?
think
What
it
if
can't go
some
up
people
hill.
have a hard time with the transportation?
Correct.
walk?
So, you said
We
we
can
can't
Go
stagger them.
there for trolley.
We can't stagger them in. Right?
Well, just back. When we come back, whoever wants to come back to the
DW
aquarium at 10 o'clock that night is
That's
going to
not
have to come
fun.
through Harbor Terrace, and there's going to be a specific window. And after that window, I can't make security stay there all night.
Right.
What is that window?
I don't know what that window is yet.
I have a
Because
It'll
question.
probably be like 15 minutes,
Oh, that's-
honestly.
Question. So
That's-
okay, before the wedding, we have all these things set up. Do we have to worry
It's a
about?
locked room.
Yeah. So the wedding's at 5:30. It comes in. We have to be out by 5:30, right? So does that mean we have to be cleaned up by 5:30?
No,
No.
but it's a separate locked room.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So,
Okay.
and we have security there. It's a wet. So there's 2 events. That's why everybody has to leave. If it was just the wedding, it's in the Great Hall. We'd be fine outside. Problem is, there's another event outside at Shark Lagoon,
Oh,
and the only bathroom facility is out there. So the hackers would have to go through the party.
will our building room be all locked up and stuff?
It
Will
will be
people
all
Yeah,
locked
it'll be
up.
see those
secure.
things
Yeah.
secure?
Yeah.
Then we could probably just call it at that point, like we end at 5 today or 4 today, and then people take their stuff that they want to go with or not. I don't know.
That's a bad idea.
Bad idea. Okay.
Yeah, because
It's
We
like the
need the
last
time.
prime
crash
ti-
before
Saturday
stuff
night is
due.
prime
Right.
time
Yeah.
coding.
I forgot it's Saturday night, not Friday
Yeah.
night.
If it would have been, yeah, it's just.
I think people
Okay.
will be engaged enough in their
Yeah, they will.
projects
Having a window
that.
of 15 minutes is just super tight.
Well, we have 2 things going on between
But there's
5 and 10,
there's a
right?
5-hour
The
window,
relapse and
so it's
then
5 to 10. So, you know, like getting back like at like I don't know.
at a specific time might be.
Oh, are we saying like there's 15 minutes to get in the
Yeah.
gate?
No,
At-
what we're saying is, so basically from 10, I can talk to security. Maybe they'll give us 10 to 10:30.
I
They're
hope
not
so.
they're not gonna stay out there for an hour just hanging out for people who may or may
So
not
what
come
about
back.
what if one of us
Yeah.
could stay out there, or a group of us could stay out there and hang out for an hour, like give us an hour window to let people in and out?
But
Is
that's for
that
their
or
whole
to let people
security.
in?
So what if some people go home, catch a nap during that time, and then they're like,
Well, if they come back after 11, they can come back in through security probably. Let me talk to security, but the
'Cause it's
problem is
24
just
hours,
for the
right?
wedding. Because of the wedding event, we cannot go through the Great Hall until that wedding is
oh,
cleared
they
out.
can come anytime during the side.
They can come in through the
Oh, okay.
terrace.
It's like,
Well, but that
No.
terrace though is the problem. Is that because it's so at the front entrance, security is there and security can buzz you in. Although I need to talk to them about that because they may not allow entrance in and out after a certain time.
But if you have a wristband,
And I will talk to them.
yeah.
But the problem with the Harbor Terrace is just that it would require security to actually be physically out there, whereas they can just buzz you in from the front door.
Is Harbor
Gotcha.
Terrace a road? A
It's
location?
the side of the aquarium.
It's the side.
a-
I mean, that I think that is if it's a right with you guys, and obviously you need to check with folks.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem standing there for hanging out.
same here. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like,
Yeah, to make sure that
yeah.
people can get in on the side.
If you're
Well,
close,
But that might be a
I can tell you
security
they
problem.
probably would not allow that just because they don't know that you're not going to let whoever in.
So with that being said, we need to see what the window is, whether it's 15 minutes or half an hour. We could at least get a half an hour, because we're talking about 15 minutes. you know.
Yeah.
But people
And then a
can't come
secondary
after-
window would be awesome after the
Well, I think
wedding's
that's what she said,
over.
like, after 11, then that will open up because the wedding will be over, and then
And then you should be able to get buzzed in by
so she's gonna
security.
confirm that and get back to us so that way we can put that on.
Because I know people will just, they will take a nap because it's like 24 hours at this point. They will crash, and I don't know about you, but I'm not good at getting up in the matter of 15 minutes and just being there. 15 minutes.
So, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of details to work out on this point. I will say that, if, we're all going to have our own teams, and presumably there's going to be a team captain of some kind, and that captain's going to be in charge of keeping his team, on track. And the same would apply when we take off from the aquarium and we have to be back at a certain time.
So
And so I think, we just have to table it until you get back to us as far as like
Yeah,
what
I'll send
security's
out
going to
that.
allow.
I'll send out that
and
email
There's
tomorrow.
no point in debating it at this
Yeah.
stage.
will the We Labs people be coding during this time? Because there's going to be food at We Labs, and then there's the other.
At May.
That's good at me.
I mean, okay.
And there's going to be a panel from 6:30 to 7:30.
So you can get 11.
And then we'll have dinner, and then we can totally, this space can be used for chilling out. People want to crash. There's beanbags, sofas everywhere. And if we do that, if we say, hey, if you need a nap, go over to, then I can come and wake up. There's
Do you have
that
some
too.
fans?
Yeah.
Do you have like a twin somewhere to like fulfill all these? I can do this. I can do that.
He's pretty magical.
I love him.
To bus people in.
So are there two things that are going on there, or just the one? We leave, or because I
So
thought there was a
at
dinner
May-
somewhere.
At May, dinner and the panel are at the same place, so people will be able to get dinner, sit down, and then watch the panel. Ideally, in my mind, and the panel's only an hour, but it's a very interesting story about the endangered vaquita in the Gulf of California.
Oh, the mini porpoise.
Yes, very
Oh,
sad story, but it's also it's very pertinent to the problem statements that you guys will be working on, or that the participants will working on, because it talks about an endangered species, it talks about the impacts of fisheries, it talks about people's livelihoods associated with fisheries, and in the case of the Gulf of California, you have the drug cartels thrown in there as well. So there's a lot of socioeconomic aspects in there.
Who's going to be setting up at Maid?
This will be outmade. Yeah, in the
But
back
who's going
space.
to set it up? Who's going to set that event up?
Well, that's a whole other discussion. So we've got to. I mean,
So we'll have
we're
to-
going to have to chat with DW about that. A.
All right.
And then B is it really depends on. So I put some feelers out to some sponsors. Basically the deadline is kind of like we need to discuss that too. So like we've both Lisa and I have put out feelers to sponsors. If we don't get sponsors, what's the game plan A? And then if that, and then what does that all look like? What
Let's
do we
make
have?
the deadline. If we don't have sponsors by Wednesday of next week, you let me know, and I'm just gonna get catering.
Okay. Okay.
But we need to know by Wednesday so we don't shock the
Yeah.
caterer on
So
Friday.
I'm gonna submit to.
Not catering. I'm sorry. We'll go to a restaurant because I'm not paying a caterer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to submit to, I've submitted to a couple of techie companies in town already. We've got a little package that we've got circulating, and it says Code for Long Beach. So we're not speaking, it says in there that we're doing this at the aquarium, but that's it. So we're not representing, just so you know, because I know we haven't had a signature yet. But anyway,
Well,
we've
yeah.
got a little package. We've circulated that, and then I will submit to the port.
Yeah.
as
the
well.
Only, yeah. With the port, the aquarium can't be a part of that.
Okay.
We've
Can we
apparently
say it's
ruined
at the
our
aquarium?
welcome with the port.
Oh,
Can we say it's at
You
the
can say that
aquarium?
it's at the aquarium.
But we're doing it.
You're doing it. Let's
Okay.
confirm with Cecile tomorrow on the call.
Okay.
Exactly how she wants it worded.
Which call is that?
This is a
This is
media.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, marketing and program.
Because they meet on Monday to
Huh?
decide. So that would
Oh,
be
they
a.
love us, but we already have gotten quite a bit of money from them.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So we don't want to ask for more.
Just pay us for lunch, or something.
No, and
So
I'm totally
what
going to
time
phrase
do
it
you
like.
want to know by?
Yeah.
On Wednesday? By 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, or you want it
No,
day
I
to
mean
day?
by afternoon, just so that I have enough time to contact
12
some of the
o'clock?
restaurants. Noon's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
And that's next Wednesday. Not
yes,
Okay, so back to the agenda.
okay.
Okay, so event flow, we're done. Transportation logistics, how we get people Saturday.
And I think that's still in.
Yeah.
You said we just walked them up here? Like
Yeah, we can. I mean, as long as we're saying that's a thing, then we can.
Well,
make
we
it a
have to
thing.
have an option for people with.
Totally. Then let's say it's a thing.
So,
We've got all this space. It's a Saturday in the evening. No members are going to be up here.
So what I would love to do somehow is get lift ride to people or get lift reimbursements to people
I can go to them.
to actually get back to it.
Okay.
Because let's say you have people napping here. Waking them back to walk out right after napping is probably not the best idea.
Oh yeah, good
And it's
point.
late at night.
It's late at night.
It's late at night. That's a
So-
really good
So
point.
I would really love like van pooling or lifting over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna get with you with my lift contact,
Okay.
and I'll talk with you about that.
Okay.
So
That might be-
Lisa.
And
and
I do have a question about the actual event. Now, is there gonna be any signage at all, or are we gonna just kind of bootleg signage
For the watershed?
for the actual event, or like, will there be arrows? for
Last
people?
year, we had this poster. I was telling me, but this is.
I will put together collateral. I got some photos of fish from Kim today. I've got some things in my head. I'm going to hopefully have some in draft before we chat with marketing tomorrow. So we can be like, hey, this is what we're going to do.
We
And see what they say.
We can
that's art, and it's a lot of.
do. Is it too much?
Some
I mean,
Microsoft
we can
Notes.
Yeah,
design
no,
it.
actually, we could do something like that, just as long as we add the aquarium and the fish hackathon
Yeah, we would
logo.
put all the business
Well,
in there.
it
and we
would
could
look-
just
But we
yeah.
have to get someone to do the graphics. And,
So, I mean, if we had something like that, we have the stanchions. So we already had planned to put a sign outside of the watershed, just so people kind of, it obviously has to say private event where people will try to walk in. They'll try to walk in anyway. And putting the sponsors on. So that's great.
I think that our,
but who who would do that?
so I'll do it. I'm already working on it.
Okay.
I'm going to do it in vector anyway, except for the photos, so we can blow it up. I think our biggest thing is versions of this for circulation is probably our
Yeah.
most important.
Just
For
So-
circulation, as far as digital, you're talking about the digital.
Yeah, so like on social media, like being able to just post that with a link to the event, so that that's going to be our biggest
Right, so
use
when you-
for this sort of thing, because it's a closed event. So like
Exactly.
we can get this printed, but it's not like
We
we're
don't
going to
need to
allow
promote it.
people to come in when they see
Yeah.
the sign.
Yeah, we don't need to.
It's going to be like, well,
Well, it's an
It's
identifier so
RSVP,
people know
sorry.
they're in the right place. They're not in
Yeah.
the wrong
Yeah,
place.
no, it helps to let them know. It also gives it's more exposure to the sponsors, because the general public is
Yeah.
going to stop and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Okay.
So if they at least are exposed to those
okay,
logos,
so let's do a big one.
Get
All
some.
right.
So next question is, who's gonna pay?
So
So,
that
we
depends
can
on what we're
design it.
talking though. So,
So-
that's something like that. Yes, we can
It's,
cover that.
I forgot how much I paid last year. I got it. I know I got it from Kinko's.
Well, actually, we can print this in
Oh, you guys
house.
can print it?
If you
Oh, okay, so we can design it then.
if you design it, we can print
Okay,
this.
cool.
Oh, really?
We can print it that size.
okay.
Nice.
All right.
Yay.
It might be slightly different just to fit in the sign
Yeah,
holders,
that's
but
fine.
it's pretty similar.
Okay.
Can you make
That's easy for us
shirts
then.
too?
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Well,
we
what else
talked
can be
about those
printed?
t-shirts.
I have to send that email tomorrow, so yes, they are going to cover that. But I need the Code for Long Beach logo because I do not have it.
Or
So
maybe
that was for
whatever
the
this
t-shirt.
is.
So let me get you, I sent one, but it was dinky. So let me get you a proper size
Yeah.
one. It's a vector thing too.
So we are getting T-shirts. I think it's just going to have the Code for Long Beach, the Aquarium, Gladstones, the Queen Mary, any other sponsors that we have to have on the shirt.
It would be ideal if we actually get a cash sponsor, that cash sponsor goes on there.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
When does the
All the
artwork
rest
get
are
turned
largely
in?
partners, so they don't have, in my
Big
opinion,
time.
they don't have to crowd a t-shirt. I'm not worried about that. I would like, if We Labs is doing a prize, I'd like to get We Labs on there, because that's a
We Labs
cash
on
thing.
So can you send me the logos then of any logos you want on the shirt as a partner or sponsor?
How do you guys feel about that?
If you're gonna make a nice chart like that, something like that would be good on a T-shirt.
I don't think my sponsor will be in a T-shirt, but rather on signages.
So more on the signages than on the
What
T-shirt.
if we just put the partners on the shirt? Let's just put Aquarium Civic Code for Long Beach and
That's
Relab
Fish Hack.
That's better.
Fish Hack.
And
Let's
the
just do
name
that.
of the hack, it definitely got to go.
So
on
send me
there.
the code for Long Beach logo, because
Okay.
that way I can order it tomorrow.
Okay.
and
Okay.
get it
Sounds
over with.
good.
Okay.
And then we'll do all the collateral that I will put together, which will be iterations of the same thing, basically. Some will have photos, some will not. We'll have all of the partners and sponsors, for sure.
Okay, so that concludes the
Event.
event flow. All right, we gotta make up time. It's already
We're
almost
close
an hour.
though.
All right, so competition details, we kind of went over that, right? Some of the rules. Kim is gonna get back to us.
We do want to have some better understanding of how the team building's going to go.
Let's get into it in a moment. Let's can we focus on the first one first? Please?
Pardon?
Can you please focus on the first
Oh,
one, please?
okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so prize rules, considerations, if we want to drill down on that, we kind of talked about that
Well,
already, right?
yeah, that's why I went to the other, because we did
Yeah,
talk,
we
and
talked
we
about that,
agreed
yeah.
that we were going to meet a little later on that.
Okay.
And the rules, we don't know that yet until we have the rules.
It's right. So there's outstanding questions about the rules. It sounds to me like there's both local and national level prizes, and I think that's something you should emphasize. You know, what that means is even if you don't make it to nationals and win the national competition, you still might win something from Labs, right? Which is
And the
you know,
Queen Mary.
and the Queen Mary, yeah.
Yeah.
and
Are
so
you
whatever,
gonna
right?
be able to put together that price list? That
So
I'll do
from
that tomorrow.
what I
Sorry,
understood from the last meeting we had with you, we had
Clearly
like
behind.
5 to 6 prizes.
What's that?
From last meeting, I think we said like 5 to 6 different prizes. The Queen Mary steak,
Yeah,
Queen
but
Mary
we're some of those are being packaged. So like a
Oh.
Queen Mary and I think 2 tickets to the aquarium are being packaged into one.
because I was going to like the consultation prize, but yeah.
And then we have the Wee Labs, and we'll have to determine. So for this group, I think the Wee Labs is a pretty good price. So maybe that's even first. I don't know.
That should be,
What is
the price?
That should be its own separate.
Right, separate, but
price.
should it be
So-
first prize? Should it be second prize?
I would just do them on
See the
value.
actual
So what's the Queen Mary's value on their? That's how I would do it.
Yeah, so I was gonna
You know?
say, without knowing exactly what all the prices are
yeah, we
today,
need to list.
what will end up happening is, as we get closer to the event, you get a final prize package together, and then you'll actually decide what are the actual classes that people can win, right?
Yeah.
Because if you end up with 3 prizes, then we have to come up with 3 things that qualify to win, right? Most creative versus best technical solution versus
Yeah.
overall best in show or whatever. Right?
Are there any like
Um,
swag bags at all for all participants?
T-shirts.
T-shirt, right?
T-shirts, and it also sounds, depending on how many prizes we have, it almost sounds like almost every group is going to win something pretty much, right? Because if we have 4 to 5 prizes,
30
If it's-
people.
yeah, 6 prizes.
Well, let
and
me
that's
know
just
because
that.
I can probably
Or what
pull
group
from
is
my
it?
stash.
That'd be
I have
awesome.
products.
So we should
For
have,
my last one.
maybe even people that volunteer and participate too, right?
Yeah,
people
I've got
get a
some
swag
stuff I
bag.
can pull from.
So Lisa will handle the swag bag.
I think I even have. Well, I have bags too. So I mean, I
Oh,
can
awesome.
I'll put together swag bags for the.
Okay, awesome.
Just on a total side note, Heather mentioned that we should probably put cushions on those chairs
Well, we have chairs like this.
that we can put in that space.
They were
That
hidden
would
in the
be
back
good.
room.
Ah,
I
great.
don't know that we have that many, but if we only have 30 people, we should have plenty for that.
Okay.
'Cause we hold our big meetings with these chairs.
Okay, good. Never mind.
Those
That.
chairs are kind of comfortable, but we only set them for 5.
They
10
were
minutes.
actually
Right.
pretty
They're
comfortable, but
pretty
yeah.
ergonomic. They were like
But
stand out.
people need to
Pretty
change
cool.
chairs too, like
Yeah.
during.
Well, and so I can show you where that room is when we go in on Thursday, because we want you guys to be comfortable. So as long as you're not, I don't think you're gonna walk out with that. I don't think it's a big deal for you to go in there and change out the chairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got that covered. All right. So let's see here. The next one was the people know the rules, understand prize pack rights. Okay, we got that right. Team building coordination.
I think that's what we discussed. It's basically we're going to put all of that into that email communication. Kim's going to get us the RSVPs as they come together. We'll compose them. We have the copy already because we've been bouncing it around, and so it's just corralling that copy, getting that email out to people, letting them know that there's a Slack channel for building your team. Here's the deadline for letting us know what your team is, what your interest is, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to use Laura's notes and what's in my head, get that in draft. Probably while I'm working on this collateral, because it's all in my head anywhere at the moment, and then we'll circulate and perfect. I mean, is there anything other than that we need to do?
How do you imagine setting up teams to let people find their own team, or do you want to force?
I think that we just say, when people go, if you look at that registration form, it says, I need a team, basically.
Correct.
There's the option. Or I'm a team captain and we still need team members. And it's basically, as they come in, I mean, we're looking at, like, I also set there's a wait list after 40 registrants now on that
Good idea.
registration form. And so we're looking at basically 30 to 40 people that we're going to try and coordinate and put on teams. Some of those people already have teams, so let's say even 2/3 of that, 20 people. I can manage getting 20 people in touch with people they need. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Especially
loose
since you
enough
put
that
a-
we can just
Place in Slack for them to have a conversation
Yeah.
with us
Yeah.
anyway.
and get on Slack, and here's the meetup channel, and you should totally meet James because he's interested in this. I'll know a lot of people.
Okay.
You know,
But
Or
we
actually,
do
I also
have,
would pitch Coding Coffee the Saturday before that.
and that's a perfect venue to do just team building too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
that
like, hey,
is.
you're here, you want a team, like.
Go there to meet the people you might be working with.
Yeah.
Maybe you can even make that a meetup. Like, if you need a team, come to.
Oh yeah,
this.
we'll put that in the
Maybe
verbiage, like a good
Aren't we
place to
doing it
meet
on a
team
Friday
members.
anyway? Like, quick question. As I have not seen any time mentioned that yet. When on Friday does it start? What time?
7?
I'll get back to you on that.
Well, so it starts at 6 officially. We have a press event at 11. Anybody who wants to show up and be a body in the chair for the press would be fantastic. But
Wait,
the
six-
official
I'll try to make
event
that.
starts at 6 p.m.
So, what's going to happen at 6 p.m.? Do we going to
At
have?
6 p.m., you will come in the watershed. We'll have dinner waiting for you. And that's when I will introduce the aquarium and the fish hackathon, why we're doing it. And then you guys can introduce Code for Long Beach and why we're partnered. And then we'll explain the ground rules. And I'm hoping we can get them started.
Okay. Do you want to allocate, because people are people, and some people won't be happy with the team. Some people still need to find their partners and what's not. Do you want to
So team
allocate?
building.
Correct. Allocate like 30 minutes before the official hack starts to like just get your people together.
Well, that's
Yeah,
during dinner.
make sure you're happy
Well,
with your team.
Yeah, it could
maybe
be dinner, yeah.
maybe do some trading.
Well, that's what we recommend.
Yeah.
So we'll say from what, 6 to 7, 6 to 8. What do you guys?
Well, so I have 8 p.m. that it officially begins.
Okay,
So
that's
6
what we-
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So 6
That's
to
enough
8, that
time
gives
for
us time
people.
to
6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. is check-in. 6:30, everybody in the watershed. So that's actually sorry.
No,
about
that's
that.
perfect.
That's
Yeah, that's
perfect,
enough
yes,
time.
yeah.
on your sign up sheet, are you not
People
including the people who sign up as volunteers in the count?
Well, we're still capped. We want to keep it at 40 anyway.
Well,
And so
50
I'm gonna-
total
But we
with
have
the-
And
to
50
limit-
total is like our high-end limit, but like, right? I mean, we want to
So
try
maybe
and.
we
with
don't
the
count
volunteers.
us.
What happens to people like?
Well, I'm not going to register, for instance, so
Okay,
that I
did,
you know, I
but
can
you can
keep.
take me out then.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not crowding out an actual developer, somebody who's going to join a
Okay,
team.
well, I
So-
thought we had to do that, so,
No,
but, all right.
Let's
I
say
mean, it is what it is. We
we
can.
have 35 signups, and at the day of the event, I'm just in like, hey, this is actually cool. I want to call my friend in. Can I get him in? If we have low capacity.
Yes.
Okay.
If we have capacity, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many were on the Eventbrite last time you checked?
Well, total between Eventbrite and
Meetup.
Meetup, it was about 30 something, about 30.
30 something.
Yeah, combined.
Yeah.
So what we would do then, that's good. Everybody that signed up, even if they're not participating, we still have their information. And
Right.
then we will use, like you said, we'll route out, okay, whether they're going to be on the facilitator side or the actual participating in the hack side, right?
How do we prevent people from switching on people? Let's say I start with Roger to work on something, and to the event, Roger says, okay, I'm tired and I'm going to go home, and I sub you in. How do we prevent that?
Okay, well, that goes back, honestly, that falls back on the aquarium responsibility for code of conduct.
Okay.
Code of conduct is in the rules and, you know, how to actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the
I
State
get that.
Department.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So.
for us, for me, I don't want to take that on that.
No, I agree. That's
Yeah.
what I'm asking most with the aquarium to
Yeah.
actually.
So I think that's something too that, yeah, you probably want to.
Did you understand the question?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
so-
juggling and I can't do it as well as you guys.
Okay, so my concern is I roll up with my team. I have two
These are
people on
the
the bench
volunteers
because I
who
know
are-
that
okay,
people that
that
I
are
would
really
want.
know about.
We head out because people on nap, and like when we return, I suck out those two people. How do we prevent that?
So right now, and that's what I was saying, right now, you guys don't have everything set up, you know, because you guys don't have the experience of running a hackathon, you guys, there's a lot of things that you guys haven't foreseen yet, you know.
We
So,
take
I mean,
pictures of the team.
I mean, all I would say, well, let's not overthink this. I mean,
Yeah.
on the one hand, I'm not even sure that that's against the rules because I haven't seen any rules.
Right.
So I think this is really premature. Hey,
Good point,
B,
Roger.
like, you know, let's not overthink this. I mean, taking pictures of people as they walk in, all this stuff. All because you guys take pictures.
I've done hackathons with hundreds
We
of
can only fit
people,
some
and none of
people in
this
that room
was
to
a factor.
require motion reason or whatever the reason.
It happened to before.
And as long as we stay below that cap, and as long as teams are behaving professionally,
No, we can put that in the code of conduct.
You really are competitive.
but
He's like,
beyond that,
no.
you know, I haven't seen a rule that says I can't switch out.
Yeah.
I can't have a pinch hit.
So,
Right?
yeah.
So unless you develop a rule that says so, and then we can figure out. But you know what? I mean, this is a small room. It's like if James walks out of the room and somebody else walks in right now, I'm going to know that happened. Right? Like, I'm sorry, I don't need to take
Well,
his
just
photo
think
as he
this
walks
is a
in.
1/3 of the group.
Let's not
Yeah.
overthink
But I
it.
think it would be
Basically.
kind of fun for the groups also to have pictures of their team for the thing.
Well,
That's the.
Well, so we have our AV team. I'll probably be running. Oh, and they said PadNet was okay, by the way.
That's okay.
Yes,
Then I will
and,
email
and
Lisa
someone from
tomorrow.
The city for
By the
Friday
name of
would
the
be
assist-
perfectly lovely. They just want us to wait until Monday after our Sink or Swim press event to hand it out, but they're going to hand out the press releases there anyway.
So can I then? I'm glad you brought that up.
Secret
So
swim.
then can I not distribute it, but get that to Suja's chief of staff and say, hey, do you think Suja can come to this event?
Yeah,
Not
so
for
we're
circulation, but just to
redoing
get-
the press release right now to make it more of a media alert hybrid.
Okay.
And so I should have that tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I will get that to you, and please do forward it to her.
Okay.
But
So because
but after
if she's
Monday.
here, she'll do this.
Monday
This
afternoon.
is totally her wheelhouse. I mean, she totally do it. I believe if she's in town, she'll do it. So in press event, whatever it is. Problem with her is that she runs Big Blue Bus or the comm for Big Blue Bus, and so she's in Santa Monica most days. So if she's out, then we can talk to the mayor's office. But she would be perfect. I mean, water issues, science, urban planner, her district. So, but yeah, we'll try her first, and then if not, I mean, we can try multiple channels. But it's okay after what we get tomorrow. I won't distribute it or pitch to media, but to use that to entice public
Yes.
officials. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, let's see here, so, project facilitation. Okay.
Yeah, we did that, and the channel questions, these are on the,
But
did you
which
get
are
one of
the
these?
11 statements that we want to focus on? How do you
It's
find
a
them?
little,
Those
How
are
do
the
you find
first
them?
11 on the, if you
Yeah,
go to the challenge
featured
post.
statements.
Okay, cool. I will then
Do you
look
have
at
the-
those 11 and get those wrapped up. in
So
the-
it says
I
featured
would just
problem
like to point out that ours is
Does he?
number one. Just saying.
Actually, I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the featured problem statements on the challenge post.
Okay, cool. I'll
these are
summarize all of
just
this
a
up in like
summary of
2 to 3
questions that
minutes.
have come on,
So they
on the
segment them.
channel, so we don't really have to discuss each one of these. But that way, when you're going to your team, maybe some of these questions will pop. Or,
No, this is very helpful, and we do have a call at 11, so I will run this by them and make sure.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of different, just things that I've collected off Slack. You're gonna be joining Slack, correct?
Yeah, we send her.
That's just an invite, yeah.
And you also understand that there's 4 markers that they are looking for.
Okay,
All that.
Okay,
my main goal with summarizing them is to not have people read 11 dossiers,
Yeah,
but just kind of like glance over, okay, that's cool, I want to open that.
What are the
Okay.
markers?
that's on the challenge post. That
If, I
Mike.
mean, are they short or they're long?
fisheries management, conservation, aquaculture, traceability.
okay, so for marketing, we'll close out a competition detail, right? Everybody good?
Yep.
All right, marketing update, I know he just walked out, right?
It's right
Yeah,
back.
we're gonna get on a
but-
call tomorrow with them.
So marketing has a meeting conference call tomorrow scheduled. We already discussed having some signage created, and also we'll circulate the digital
Yeah. So
image on social media platforms.
We can put that in the Google Docs.
Yeah,
folder, and then everyone can pull that
can pull
when
it.
they're tweeting or
And we'll
whatever?
give you access. We'll send you a link invitation to the Google Docs as well as Slack. Marty already sent you an invite. And if you need information on how to use Slack, it's pretty easy. There's tutorials.
It's super straightforward. So once you log in, you just see everybody there. And you can talk.
Okay, so I'm automatically in the hackathon page.
No, it's you're in the general Morris channel, and you can join the hackathon channel for that. It's on the site.
So I give her just a quick right here. So this is what's like. It's an app that you download on your phone, smartphone. You have Samsung, so go to the Android store. And then, like you said, these are the channels. So say you have a channel for Hackathon, you got the general channel, and you can just post up information here. You can post documents.
It also runs in your browser on your computer.
So if you're on your laptop, if you have work, you can pull up Slack on there as well. And then, of course, I can say share documents. You have documents for us. There's a documents channel, and then direct message. So if you want to send anybody that's a part of the team a direct message, just click on here, and just type it in. Pretty straightforward.
Okay. No more emails.
Yeah.
It replaces email.
It's a little better than the email since everybody gets the blast.
And if you don't want anything to go public, you want to direct message somebody, then like I said, you use a direct message feature.
It's free.
Okay, so I think for the most part we covered everything, but did you have something you wanted to add on marketing?
No, I mean, our marketing is basically we're going to have collateral for social media. We're going to have a release for distribution. So as soon as we get, after we see the release for tomorrow, I will write another one, which will get approved by marketing folks. That'll be about the panel. That will actually, I want to coordinate with them, and we'll pitch to a whole other set of media about that. So about the event at Made, we'll do like a whole other little.
Does it make sense to also talk about the collaboration between Culture LB and Aquarium?
And the one that we've been bouncing back and forth, which is getting retooled to look more like a media advisory, does talk about that. And we will, of course, in the one that's going to be under our it's going to be on our release header rather than the aquariums. It'll be from our perspective. So it'll be like, we're really excited about working with Aquarium on this. Yeah. So yes, we'll do that.
So are we going to be issuing people tickets so that you know that they're part of the hackathon?
Wristbands.
We're going to get wristbands from you to give to the people ahead of time?
The wristbands will be given out at a check-in table.
Registration.
Okay,
There's going to be a registration table.
Okay.
Everybody else.
So are we manning that too? Are we manning the registration table?
We may not have to because everything is digital. What we can do one or two things. We can go old school and print out, or we could just give them the information.
Yeah, but they have the wristbands. They have
Right,
to check.
that's what I'm saying. So we can either get them the one or two things, we get them a hard copy, or we can do it through Eventbrite or any other, digital online tool. Just give them access to the registration information. Right?
Most of the questions are we going to give them out, or is it current?
Well, we will be in charge of the wristbands.
Okay,
yeah,
there
that's
you go.
them. Yeah, that's them.
Every day do you get another wristband, or is it
One.
for the weekend?
No, they should last the weekend.
Hopefully.
I'll take
Not paper.
Bless you.
Sorry.
There may be a few extras in guest services, but they will be given under strict circumstances.
So people are gonna have to bathe with them. If they bathe, choose the bathe.
Nobody's
This is a
bathing.
hackathon. Nobody's gonna bathe. Come on.
Nobody's bathing.
If I remember correctly, they're the sturdy plastic, and those are waterproof. You get
Okay,
them
I'm
wet
gonna
and
jump in the
everything.
aquarium when we do.
Will we see fish at all while we're there?
You'll have the run of the aquarium except for that Saturday night with the event.
So people could take breaks, go touch
Go
the
look at your
jellies.
fish.
Yeah, so we have a program animal coming in to visit everybody on Saturday for a little bit. I don't know who that'll be. I keep pitching for Lola. She's pretty fun.
She was a showgirl,
Who's Lola?
Is that
Her name is
cockatoo?
Lola.
Oh, great.
She's pretty funny actually. She has a lot of cool tricks. But and then I'm gonna try to get you guys into our Ocean Science Center, which is actually where our press event will be held. And that's where our Science on the Sphere is, and there's a lot of data sets in there that you guys might find interesting.
That's 11
Cool.
o'clock Friday, right?
There's
And
press.
so would we,
Just press.
if you asked if we were gonna be able to go, would we just say we're there for the press event, or how do you get in?
If you are interested in going, I will need a list of names.
Okay,
And we will have a check-in table for that as well. So I will need to work with you on names for that event.
Okay.
Because that's to be a whole other.
Yeah, and we can add it to our agenda tomorrow. And I mean, and we can like figure out those or refine those questions about like who do you want? Like, you know, Suja would be ideal when she's in town. I can't guarantee it, but it'd be close to guaranteeing if she can make it, she'll be there. But like, who else do we want? I mean, I don't know about getting Robert there, but that would be awesome too, right? So do we want to make a try for that? Is he doing things for the other event? Like, what's the?
So he was originally asked from the other event, and he's not coming because of a conflict.
So let's
I don't
see if
think
we
it's
can-
An issue if you can, but let's talk to Cecile and Marilyn
Okay.
to be sure tomorrow.
Okay.
Basically, they seem okay. Again, as long as we wait to hand out the press release until after the Monday event is done, and they're actually going to hand out the release at the event to the media that's already there.
Yeah, like I'm pitching the media, but we can use a release to entice because it talks about the State Department and stuff like Robert's office
It
and
would be,
Suja's office.
great, and because he wants us to be a tech hub, it would be great
It's
for
perfect for
if he's available.
Well, DW
Okay.
has a meeting with them tomorrow.
who does?
DW.
Oh, okay, great.
So we can let him know.
Okay, also, is that adjourn our meeting?
I think we covered everything. Does anyone else have anything they wanna add?
And then
Martin?
you gotta remind me your name. I'm not-
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Daniel, you're participating, you're on the development side for the hackathon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you have his information?
Mhm. He
Okay.
signed up. I got him signed up.
Okay.
So he'll be a coder. He's very active in Code and Coffee
Yeah, I
and
seen him, yeah.
If
very helpful.
side question, if one of our potential sponsors, if that were to happen, gets back to us and says, "Great, who's going to give me the tax exempt receipt?" Can they write a check to the aquarium for?
If it's
Donation
a check,
purposes?
I'm sure that would not be an issue.
Okay.
But let me double check with.
Okay.
I can't see why we're going to turn that down.
Right.
Well, for
I mean, and that's basically what cash donation would be anyway, is to help you cover your expenses, whether that's the main thing or whatever, but it's cash, right?
Yeah.
So,
Are you guys 501c3?
So I think that's it
That'll
for
be
the.
fine.
Do we have anything else we need to talk about for
No.
marketing update? Great.
Mhm. The rest is, we've already covered.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So
Oh, one thing, sorry, I forgot about this. So on the poster, I would hold off on putting too much effort on that right now, just because I need to confirm with Cecile and Marilyn if it has to be our AV staff doing it, if it's inside the aquarium or not. I don't think it would be an issue.